Okay, everybody, Beer Leaguer back here with another long-term review, something that I've been using for a couple of years now, probably 1.5, 2 years to talk about, and that is Buttendz grips. So what are Buttendz? Buttendz are a rubberized, it's not really rubber, but it's rubberized sort of grip that slides on and off of your sticks, and one of the big things of them is they are reusable. It's a big selling point for these guys. They kind of get suctioned on there, so it's, they're not coming off, but you can work them off and work them on. So a little bit about Buttendz, what they are. So Buttendz, they make 6 different styles of these. You can see here are 2 different ones that I have. They have different kind of styles that they have, especially the knobs are different, or how many kind of like ribs and how they look on there are different. They have 6 different styles. They have different colors for them. They also make ones for goalies that have the giant goalie knob on the back. Pricing as of the making of this video is around $30 for one of them. They have different ways you can get discounts on their website though, or if you buy them in bulk or something like that. And yeah, I think that kind of covers what they are. I think everybody's seen what they kind of do. For me, the big thing with Buttendz and talking to other people that have them and what they've had, the kind of biggest, I don't know if I'd say pain point or frustration with them, kind of the biggest thing is getting them on and off. And the way that it works to get them on and off is it comes with a little spray bottle of solution, and you kind of spray your stick and just kind of supposed to like work it onto your stick. I've gotten pretty good at it. I've put a number of people's Buttendz on. Once you kind of get a feel for it, it's not too hard. I will say the biggest key that I found though is spray the crap out of it. Spray the crap out of the stick, spray the crap out of the inside of the Buttendz. Just spray it like crazy and then work it on. And then kind of as that dries, it kind of gets suctioned onto the stick. A lot of people just try and do a little spritz, spray the crap out of it. It comes with a little tiny bottle of solution. You go through that rather quickly from a couple of sticks. So you can use kind of anything, any sort of spray of what they call wet water. That's water with just like a drop or two of like Dawn dish soap. I've also used the like spray dish soap stuff that's like comes out foamy. I've used that to do that. It's just any kind of lubricant to get those on there. But honestly, if you get a whole bunch of stuff on there and a whole bunch of solution and you just kind of work it on there, once you get it onto the stick, it's actually pretty easy to get it down onto it. That's the biggest thing though, is spray the crap out of it. And same thing for getting it off. Getting it off is a little bit harder because you kind of have to peel it up a little bit around the edges, get that solution in there, again, work it around, and you just want to break the suction. And once you kind of do that, it's not too bad to pull that off. But again, that seems to be the biggest kind of pain point people have with these things. So one of the selling points, the big selling points for the Buttendz is that you can move them stick to stick. That's totally true. Like I said, you can just take those off. One thing that happens, though, if you keep moving them stick to stick, this guy here has been on, I think it's the 3rd stick it's on. Looks great, looks great, looks great, looks great. Oh, what's going on there? Yep, starts to get kind of, if you get any kind of little rips or tears like that, which is not too difficult to get, especially at the ends like that, it starts to tear pretty easily. Because they're pretty thin. Like you can see, this is a pretty, I don't know if you can kind of really see how thin this is, but it's a pretty thin material. So once it starts to tear, it does really start to tear up. So that's, it also depends, I think, on what kind of grip you have, like the style of it. If it's thinner on the bottom and the top, it's always going to be more prone to tearing. But that's what I found to be the only problem with moving them stick to stick. Otherwise, it's not a big deal, and if you don't ever tear them and don't ever have that problem, you can remove them pretty much infinitely, I guess. The rubber on them doesn't really wear down. I haven't seen like these little textured features wear down over time. Like I said, I've had these on my sticks for about 1.5, 2 years for them, and I haven't seen this wear down at all. So that's good. The other big thing that they talk about is glove wear, as opposed to having tape. I thought that was complete crap, but I will say I've been surprised. I have gloves that I started wearing while I've only had butt ends on my sticks, and I've noticed the palms don't have nearly the amount of wear on them that my gloves normally get. So there is something to that. It does help wear that down. I'm assuming it's because it's less abrasive than tape. It doesn't have the stickiness on it that tape can get or anything like that. But it definitely does make a difference. I was completely shocked by that. One of the other things I've heard of people say that they don't like is sometimes the puck feel. I've heard that be a pro and a con of how the puck feels with it. On here, honestly, I haven't noticed a difference between this and tape. I guess if you do a very like one small thing of tape or something like that, you might notice something. But as someone that really didn't ever use taped butt ends hardly at all, it I haven't noticed any kind of difference. I haven't noticed it getting better. I haven't noticed it getting worse. I don't notice it. To me, this thing's on here so tight with that is that stuff transfers really well. Yeah, so I haven't noticed any kind of a feel difference at all with that. I do notice though, because this does have, hopefully the camera can pick this up, these little raised ridges here. I have noticed because I'm not one to do like fancy tape jobs. If I ever did put tape on my end of my stick, I would just do like a quick couple of wraps just so it was slightly off the ice so it was easier to grab. I do like having this because it kind of gives you a place for your hand to drop into automatically. So I do like that on there, and that's why I've picked the Buttendz ones that have kind of that design on it. So that is something nice to have, and it's nice to be able to have that on every stick. You know, I can move that around so it's the same, so I can get used to it. So I get used to where I grip it and everything. So I have really liked that with it. Another thing to compare this to is something else that I have used. One here. See if we can see this on camera. This is lizard skins. This is a similar idea, different product. Lizard skin is basically like a tennis racket wrap that you put on your on the butt end here of your stick that you wrap stuff around with, and it's just an alternative to tape, but it's not reusable. That's the big thing with it is the butt ends are a little expensive, but the idea is you're buying it once and you're moving it to, you know, your next who knows how many sticks. Whereas something like lizard skins or there's other wraps out there that are like one-time use are cheaper, but you're having to rebuy them. So it's one of those, you know, paying less but multiple times and it adds up to more versus buying it once, you know, something once for more expensive and you don't have to buy it again, kind of thing. So it all kind of evens out in the end. I mean, I suppose if you change sticks a lot and you move your butt ends to a lot of sticks, it probably does save you money in the long run from it. But how do these two compare? How does like lizard skin and butt ends compare to being used? The biggest thing that I've noticed again is with the butt ends is it has kind of a more texture for it, a little bit more grip kind of texture, which is nice. But it's not as kind of I don't know how to put it, like a bouncy rubbery feel to it. It's more of a rubbery product, so it doesn't really make sense. But it doesn't have like kind of like that rubbery kind of feel where you can kind of squeeze it and it kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of does that under your hands, whereas the lizard skin seems to do more of that. And the reason I'm saying lizard skins is because that's the only other one of these that I've used for any amount of time. So how does Buttendz compare to the only other thing that I've used, which is the lizard skins? The big difference is the Buttendz, because it has like these kind of molded pieces in there, is it does have that consistent feel across all my sticks that I put this on, or even if I buy the same model of these and put them on different sticks, is it's very consistent with that, so it feels the same for, you know, my hand grip and everything, which I like. It also has like a pattern in here, which gives it a little bit of a different grip and feel, which I really like having that, and I like that it's consistent. Whereas like lizard skin here doesn't have that. It's kind of however you tape it is how it comes out. You guys can kind of see hopefully what that sort of looks like. It really just works kind of like tape. The other big difference between the two is the Buttendz, while it is more of a rubbery material, it's more of a harder rubbery material, if that makes sense. Like it's harder, whereas the lizard skin has a little bit more like bounce to it, I feel like. But it does lose that over time. The more and more you use it just over time, and it becomes more just like regular tape. on your stick. Whereas the Buttendz, it stays the same. I think that's the big thing you can say for Buttendz is it's consistent. If you like consistency among your grips on your stick like that, Buttendz is pretty great for that because it can be. Even if you do wind up with a stick that starts doing this, I can just go buy another one. I can buy this exact same grip, put on the sticks, and it's going to feel the same. And there's something to be said for that. If you do like having that consistent feel for things, whenever you get a new stick, you can't beat it for that. So I think that kind of answers everything. That kind of talks about all the things I know about Buttendz and what I've thought about them. What do I use? I use Buttendz for my sticks. I like them. I like that I can transfer it from stick to stick. I don't love that this starts to happen, so that's something to be careful of. So if that keeps happening on these, again, it's only happened on this grip. It is a thinner grip. That keeps happening. Maybe I'll change my thoughts. But so far, this purpley pink guy has been pretty good. It's been on, I think this is stick number 2 for this, and it looks totally fine. Looks brand new. I mean, you can see a little wear on the very edges of it. It's starting to look a little bit beat up. That's just stick getting beat up. That's not from this. So I use it. I like them. I think that they are worth the money versus having to buy anything else. And again, I'm shocked with the difference that it does make in my gloves. I think that's 100% worth not just using tape just to save the palms of my gloves from getting destroyed. Because yeah, I've had gloves now that I've been using for about a year now, and the palms look great. The palms look brand new. I think I have them. Yeah, I have them right here. The palms on these guys, you kind of see here. I mean, they're dirty and stuff, but the palm material itself, it's like no wear on them almost at all. Whereas gloves that I previously used, after a year or so, it starts to get kind of that slick finish on them because they're getting worn. And you can tell right away. So I attribute that really to the Buttendz on the sticks. So that is something that I'm pretty amazed at. So I don't think I'll ever go back to using tape ever. For now, I'm using the Buttendz stuff. I think it's totally worth it. All right, so I hope that answers all your questions that you had on Buttendz that I could possibly answer. Hope it gives you some further insight if you're thinking about trying them out and why not they might be good for you. I think they are. If there's anything I forgot to answer, please drop a note down in the comments. Let me know, and I will try to answer as best as I can with as far as things that I know about it. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the Beer Leaguer podcast, available here on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts at. And as always, any kind of likes and subscribes help the channel grow. Encourage me to put out more videos. So if you like this, the more likes and subscribes and stuff I get, the more it'll kick me in the butt to put out more videos for this and different things like this, different things to review that I've used for kind of a longer time. So it's not just a quick first off impression. It's long-term review for things and how it's held up for me. All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you in the next one.